Who knew the best base for horror filmmaking was being a YouTuber first? Philippou Brothers, Markiplier, now Curry Barker. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Hello my friends, welcome back to another video. Man, once again, another horror movie review. I'm still baffled, like who legitimately sat down and decided that every horror movie was going to come out this month?
I'm tired, boss.
Luckily for us, this one is an absolute banger. But before we get into the review, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It's been really exciting to see the channel grow. We're almost at 100 subscribers. I'm so surprised I even have more than 5, which is like the total amount of people I know. So this is really cool. Thank you for all the love and support. But today we are talking about Curry Barker's Obsession.
Jeez, what kind of spells you put on her?
Nikki?
I love you. I love you.
I love you!
I love you!
After breaking the mysterious one Wish Willow to win his crush's heart, a hopeless romantic gets everything he could have dreamed for, but at a very dark and sinister price. Starring Michael Johnston playing Bear and Indy Navarrete playing Nikki. God, I hope I got her name right because she deserves everything to be correct. I will touch on that a bit later. This jumper is like wizard sleeve a little bit. Don't look. So unfortunately, I didn't get to ride the hype train for this movie on opening weekend. My job got in the way of doing this, you know, the thing I'm truly passionate about doing. You know, love when that happens. You can obviously tell I was really pleased about it.
Oh, don't cry.
But it was really, really tough to not see spoilers about this film and not take in too much of other people's opinions. I really try to avoid reviews from creators I enjoy watching, probably people that you enjoy watching. I avoid trailers as much as possible and even just people on the internet's opinions. But my feed was just full of people's opinions on this movie and they were absolutely loving it. And I can safely say the hype is real. This is an awesome horror movie. Yeah, I'm so excited about this one.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
I will say this movie is really straightforward and the premise is super simple, and that is not a knock on it. It is great how simple, bang, movies in full motion. It's really quick and to the point, and this movie flies by. It is such a tight film.
Tight like a tiger.
Every scene is important and furthers the plot. But we start the movie by meeting our main character, Bear. He is I guess like pathetic is probably the best way to describe him. And I mean that in like a way that I feel sorry for him and also in a way that I want to like grab him and shake him and tell him to get out of his own way in life. He truly is his own worst enemy. You can tell that he is the way he is because of some things in life, maybe some stuff in his past that they don't really go into, but you can make some assumptions about. He is a bit of a woe is me character. Now, Nikki, on the other hand, is that stereotypical meme, the girl that comes along in life when you have no money, no job. She's fun, she's caring, she's cute, she looks after her friends and checks in on people and is ambitious in life. She's exactly what any guy would fall head over heels for. Now, I will say, this movie is such a hard watch, and I mean that in a good way, but in so many moments, it's like cringe-inducing fear. It does have some jump scares, and once again, I think 2026 is the year of good quality jump scares. Current horror film directors have really like figured out how to make them not cheap anymore for the most part. So I was really impressed with the scares in this film. But the main thing Obsession does is it makes you feel uncomfortable. like truly, truly uncomfortable. It is like no other horror film I've ever seen. It blends genuine terror with a cringy, clingy girlfriend, and it's just incredible. And all of that is carried by Indy Navarrette's performance. I can safely say, and I will die on this hill, Indy Navarrette's performance in this is an all-time horror performance. It is up there with Toni Collette's in Hereditary, and I do not say that lightly. I still believe Toni Collette not being nominated for her performance in Hereditary is one of the biggest and most blatant Oscar snubs of all time. And I fear that the same thing is probably going to happen for Indy, because that's just what the industry does with horror films. They rarely take them seriously. I'm hoping with the success of last year's Sinners and Michael B. Jordan getting his Oscar for that performance, that the industry starts looking a bit deeper at these horror movies. I cannot give her enough praise. It is truly a great performance. Her ability to dial it up to 11 with one emotion and then do a quick 180 snap to a completely different one. The actress who played Nikki, Indy Navarrete, put it best herself. You can never tell if Nikki's going to go left or right with her emotions, but truly she will actually just come right at you. And this movie does a great job of that, where, you know, in a horror movie when you know something bad's going to happen, something bad happens, but it's way worse than you think it's going to be.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
But once again, Indy Navarrete truly stands out in an already fantastic horror movie, but she is the shining star of this film. And I suspect she's going to have a very long and prosperous career after this. Something else this movie does really well, besides basically everything, is the lighting. The way that they light Nikki so she's distorted by shadows. They do this during dialogue scenes, but it just adds this eerie feeling to Nikki where you're staring at her. Where she's talking normally, it's like a back and forth dialogue scene, but it just adds this level of sinisterness. And I feel like Barker really hit on some stereotypical crazy girlfriend behavior. There's things in this movie where it's like, oh, I know a guy whose girlfriend was like that, or I know a girl whose boyfriend was like that. But what he does is he takes those concepts and those real life things that happen in relationships and just dials them to 100 and makes them worse than you could ever imagine. So it harkens back to something that maybe we've experienced before, so you can relate to the behavior from Nikki. And if you're like me and you've been in a truly toxic relationship in your past, you're gonna have flashbacks like you're a veteran at a fireworks show. Luckily for me now, I'm in a very healthy relationship, which is nice. You can do it too, my friend. If you're watching this and your girlfriend's crazy, just run. Just run. Just run. I can't just run away. While watching this, I couldn't help but feel that for Bear, Nikki was supposed to be one of those lessons in life that all of us experience, if it is from a relationship or a job or just something in life that, you know, makes you grow as a human. Either he asks her out and she says yes, and who knows where that goes. Maybe it's the relationship he always dreamed of and it really grows him as a person. Or she says no, and that leads to a crazy gym and revenge arc where you blast XXXTentacion and Juice WRLD 24/7 and get absolutely yoked. You know, just normal guy stuff. But I did realize as the movie goes on that Bear isn't like a really good person. He's not a bad person either, but he really just needs to work on himself. He is selfish. He's absolutely a coward. He's desperate. He was really due for some character growth, honestly, but unknowingly took the easy way out. I haven't been this impressed with a horror movie since Hereditary, Talk to Me, and Bring Her Back. 3 of my absolute favorite horror films from the last 15 years. Movies that I feel transcend the genre and are just solid films as well as being horror films. And similar to the worlds that those movies are set in, once you finish those films and Obsession, I really was yearning to see what else was going on in that world. Not necessarily a sequel, but you can tell that there is a lot of spooky, scary things that go on in this reality, and it would be fun to explore that. I hope we do get to revisit this at some point in some way. I'm sure Curry Barker, after the huge box office success of this film, will be making many many, many more horror films. Overall, Obsession absolutely lives up to the hype, and it's definitely worth seeing in the cinemas. Honestly, probably worth seeing more than once in the cinemas. I know for me, I would absolutely go see this again. I will be buying it on 4K Blu-ray as soon as I can, and it is going to be in the yearly Halloween rotation for sure. And I think many of you who haven't seen it, avoid trailers, avoid all the noise about this movie. Obviously watch my video because, you know, favorite YouTuber, but just make sure you go out and see it yourself. I promise you'll have a really good time with this one, or maybe like a really bad time, but in the best way possible. So remember, lads, if you can take any lesson from this movie, just ask that girl out. I know, girls are terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Remember this, getting rejected is always better than the friend zone, so make a move. Shoot or shoot, and what's the worst you can do? Say no?
Mary Jane, will you marry me? Mary Jane!
But that has been my review of Obsession. Once again, thank you all for the support. Like the video if you liked it, leave a comment. I'd love to talk to you guys in the comments a bit more, and subscribe if you want to see more of my content going forward. I am committed to making at least one video a week, hopefully more. But until I see you in the next one, have a good week, and I love you. Bye.